Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today we have another Foundation Friday review for you. But today we are battling out two foundations. We've got a luxury foundation, Tom Ford waterproof foundation and concealer, and we have a drugstore foundation, the Milani Conceal Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. So what made me decide to do this video was I recently picked up this Milani foundation and I was wearing it all day, and I was like, this reminds me of a foundation that I already have, and I thought of the Tom Ford one. And so I was like, what if they're dupes? What if the Milani is a dupe for the Tom Ford? And I was just like, oh, I need to do this video. If it's not for anybody else, it's just gonna be for myself. So I figured I'd share it with you all, because if you were interested in this Tom Ford foundation, but you did not want to pay the hefty $87 price tag for it, maybe, just maybe, we might have a dupe here. So tell me right now, hit the pause button, leave a comment down below letting me know which side you think is the Tom Ford one or the Milani one. Do we have Tom Ford over here, Milani over here, or Tom Ford over here, Milani over here? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to click on this video and watch it. If this is your first time here, definitely stick around and subscribe to my channel. For the month of December, I am trying to upload every day, Monday through Friday, but I typically do upload 2 to 3 videos a week. So I think you'd like to stick around and subscribe to my channel. I have some good content coming your way. And if you are a returning subscriber, I am always so appreciative of every comment, every like, and for you just consistently supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. So let's get right into this video. Okay, so like I said in the intro, we are going to be putting these two foundations up to the test. We're gonna battle them out. So to give you some background on the Tom Ford foundation, this is a flawless complexion that is essential to the Tom Ford face. It's full coverage, waterproof. It conceals flaws as both a comfortable, breathable foundation with a naturally radiant finish, and an effective concealer that hides noticeable imperfections from darkness under the eyes to blemishes on the skin. So this formula is supposed to be able to withstand harsh weather conditions such as heat, humidity, and water, while maintaining an even complexion. It's also supposed to help to minimize tattoos and port stains. So this is supposed to be just like your all around, like, I need coverage. This should be able to do it for you. And then the Milani foundation says it's a concealer, it's a foundation, it's a makeup multitasker. Combat defiant under eye circles, unwanted redness, and other skin imperfections with our water resistant foundation and concealer set. So this foundation gives you a bright, bold finish in one flawless skin perfecting step. This smart formula applies evenly to conceal and tone, leaving skin with a naturally beautiful finish. It's available in 45 shades, and it's the ultimate foundation and concealer duo that provides medium to full coverage for complexion perfection that goes hard all day, every day. So based on the description of these two foundations, they sound pretty similar, which makes me think the Milani might be a dupe for the Tom Ford. So I'm gonna prep my face with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I always like to go in with a primer that I'm very familiar with when I am doing foundation reviews. Okay, so I'm gonna use the Milani on this side of my face and the Tom Ford on this side. So let's start off with the Milani. And in the Milani foundation, I wear the shade Caramel. Now off the back, the Milani foundation has way more shades than the Tom Ford one. So that's already a plus for the Milani one. Obviously a second plus would be price. So the Milani foundation, when I picked it up at Walmart, was just under $9. And the Tom Ford foundation is a whopping $87. So Milani's already killing it. Okay, so this is one layer of the Milani foundation on my skin. Let's go in with the Tom Ford. So granted, the Tom Ford has a squeezy tube. To some, this might be a con. I honestly prefer a pump. So I'm gonna try to do about a pump's worth In terms of texture, the Tom Ford foundation is more runny than the Milani one. Okay, so this is the Tom Ford foundation blended out onto the skin. Going back to Milani, Tom Ford. Right off the back, I think the Tom Ford side gives me more coverage than the Milani side. I'm gonna come in so that you all can take a look and leave me your thoughts. I want this to be a very discussion-based video. So tell me what you think based on shade match, coverage, finish, so forth. So, like I said, I think the Tom Ford side gives me more coverage. I also think in terms of color and shade, the Milani side is a little more yellowish. So here is the Tom Ford shade, and then here is the Milani shade. So I feel like the Milani shade is maybe a little more yellow. The Tom Ford shade, I don't know if it has more of like a reddish hue to it, but there is a slight difference in the shade. And I also feel like the Tom Ford side looks a little darker than the Milani side. But their shade matches are pretty similar. I didn't give you all the shade for the Tom Ford foundation. It's in the shade 9.0 Sienna, which I recently discovered they have discontinued that shade. So I think the new Sienna shade is 9.5 in the Tom Ford foundation. I'm gonna put just a little more foundation on the Milani side so that we can try to get the same coverage. All right, so now we have both sides on, and this is what we're looking like. I'm gonna be real honest with you all. I'm kind of shook right now because I have not compared these foundations ever. I literally just did a swatch test on my hand before this video just to make sure the color match was pretty similar, because I'm gonna wear this all day since we're doing a full day wear test on these two foundations. I'm kind of shooketh. Okay, other things that I noticed just right off the back is that both do leave a pretty natural radiant finish as described. I think the Milani said beautiful finish, and then Tom Ford said radiant. Tom Ford side, like you all know, I usually do like a setting spray and an illuminator. I don't have any of that on, just the Hydro Grip Primer. And I think the Tom Ford side as well as the Milani side gives us both that natural radiant finish. Both foundations are marketed toward all skin types. And so, yeah, I'm kind of impressed. All right, let's do flash photography because I always like to do that in my foundation reviews, and then we'll come back to see if there's any flashback. Okay, so as you can see, there was no flashback on either side of the foundation. And now that the foundation has set time to set into my skin, I feel like they're like, wow, I feel like we have found a dupe here. Just even with the shades, the shade of the Milani side doesn't look as yellow as the Tom Ford side. You all let me know what you see on camera, because you all can see something different, and I'll notice that too when I edit the video. So let me know your thoughts so far. So I'm gonna go in with the Shiseido Syncro Skin Concealer. I love this concealer, but more so I just know how it works. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like with concealer, or this is what the foundations look like with concealer. And I think both sides look pretty good so far. So I'm gonna finish off my face, and then I'll check back in when all of my makeup has been applied so that you can see what everything looks like before we step out the door and do this full day wear test. We are back and we have all of our makeup on. I'll have everything listed down in the description box as to what I'm wearing, but you guys, I am shooketh. Like, shooketh. I cannot believe that so far, I think we have a dupe. Now, we have to wear this throughout the day. I'm gonna try to do 8 hours. I gotta start a little later this morning than I normally do when I do a foundation review and wear test. But I'm gonna try to give us a strong 8 hours so we really can see what this looks like during a typical work day. But so far, I've had the foundations on now for over 2 hours, and I don't really see a difference at all. You guys tell me, what do you think? Okay. I will check back in at the end of the night. Okay, we are back. It is the end of the day. I've had these foundations on for, over 9 hours, I think. And this is what we're looking like. So I'm gonna come in a little closer so you can get a look at my face. Remember, this is the Milani side and this is the Tom Ford side. What do you guys think? Y'all, we have a dupe here. I cannot believe how, oh my gosh, I just cannot believe how well this Milani foundation matches the Tom Ford foundation. I mean, we've got $9, $87. Are you kidding me? So we've got to be a little critical, because that's what I like to do over here when it comes to foundation tests, because you know I love foundations and I really do try to give you as a thorough of a review as I can. So there is a little more dewiness right along here on the Milani side than we do have on the Tom Ford side. I do see dewiness on the Tom Ford side, but I just see a smidge more on the Milani side. And I think that's pretty consistent. I see just a slight more dew right along this side. I did eat today and I was touching on my chin. If you've watched any of my other foundation reviews, I do mention a lot of times I touch my chin all the time. So the wearing away that you see down here, I don't think it's any fault of the foundations, because coverage wise, both foundations stayed on. And I was out in these elements today. It was raining all day. It was very cold. Remember, the Tom Ford foundation claimed that it was water resistant, and I do feel that the Tom Ford side held up very well as the Milani side. I'm just gonna do a little blotting with my powder brush. I didn't add any extra powder to this. I'm just taking away some of this dew. But I just think this is just amazing to me. Like, it is one thing to find a dupe, and it's another thing to find like a spot on dupe. But it's like another thing to find a dupe that is literally almost $80 less that performs just as well, that gives such great coverage. Like, if I didn't know, I would think that I had on the exact same foundation all over my face. The Milani foundation just, it is literally a high-end, basically luxury foundation at the drugstore. I mean, this foundation is amazing. Now, I still love my Tom Ford foundation. Would I repurchase it? I would repurchase the Tom Ford foundation. It's one of those things that has like a special place in your heart, and it's like, I know I don't need to, but I'm just going to, because I really do love it. I mean, when I say I love this Tom Ford foundation, I love it. But knowing that this Milani one works so well, will I be in a rush to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just even down to packaging. The Milani packaging, in my opinion, is better. It's a glass bottle. There's a pump. It looks nice sitting on your vanity. The Tom Ford one is just plastic tubing, and that's it. I mean, for $87, I feel like I should just be able to go like this, boop, and then you just put it all over my face and blend it out. I mean, there's so many pros to this Milani foundation, and there's no hardcore cons to the Tom Ford one, but the cons are price point, shade. I think there's only like 12 shades in the Tom Ford foundation compared to 45 shades in the Milani one. The Milani foundation is more accessible. You know, you can essentially find it anywhere. Now, I will tell you this. The shade Caramel for the Milani one is 10A1, and I have not found that shade at Target online or on CVS's website. I did get this from Walmart, so I'm wondering if that particular shade is only at Walmart. So I did want to make that clear, just in case you are my shade and you wanted to pick it up. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I love my Tom Ford foundation. It's still like at the top of my list, but this Milani one, yes, you are now moving up to the top of the list. And if you've ever wanted a high-end luxury performing foundation at a drugstore price, this is it. I'm just amazed, and I'm thoroughly happy, and I'm excited that this actually worked out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave me down in the comment section what you thought about this particular wear test against these two foundations. What are your thoughts? What would you pick up? Which side do you think looks better? Because if you think differently, I want to know that. I'd love to know your thoughts. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.